Hey there, Sagittarius community. Soul Tigers here with a story for this wonderful community. Now, originally I was going to start off with Leo, then go Sag, then go Aries, but your frequency is screaming at me this morning. Actually, since yesterday. And I'm like, okay, let's see what's going on. So the vibe that I'm picking up so far is there's treasure that's coming in. Or is this Sagittarius gathering different pieces, filling the puzzle with different pieces, their puzzle of life, to get to that bigger picture. And right now, what I'm hearing is the universe has been sending messages your way, whether it's through people, through animals, or through omens. If you do the numbers thing, it could be through numbers as well. Pick up on those. Those are your confirmations that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're headed off in the direction that you have been working towards. Any dilemmas that you're coming into, that has to do with you gathering your treasure. How you handle that dilemma is another treasure into your pile. Now, is it going to be one of, say, of a gem that promotes love, patience with self? What about the fact of having stability in how one presents themselves? You know, is it going to be another gem such as like Tiger Eye? Being able to be grounded in yourself a little bit more. Grounded in the situations, dilemmas that seem to pop up on you. Or is it going to be something a little bit more unique, more just for you? Understanding you a little bit more. Alright, almost through with this. Also, I'm going to throw this out there. People are getting burnt. And that's okay. That's their doing. One thing that I'm going to say about fire energy is kind of like that saying, you know, get out the kitchen if you don't expect to get burnt, because it's going to happen. And I feel like a part of these dilemmas right here is that directness in how you're going to handle it. And that how you're going to handle it is getting to the goals of those treasures, those goals, how you want to come in, how you really want to present yourself every day. So just right now, practice patience in those dilemmas. And people who are getting burnt, they're getting burnt because they done tested you so many times and you're done with it. It's time to be done with it, and you're throwing your focus somewhere else, and you're allowed to do it. People don't understand that it is a privilege to have somebody's attention, because that's time. And let's face it, time is one thing that we run short of sometimes. A lot of times. One day we're over here, we're starting our day nice and early. Next thing we know, we blink a few times and it's already the end of the day, and we still have 20 more tasks to go. So just know your time is valuable, and those people who are getting burnt because they're not getting your time anymore, that's okay, boo-boos, because guess what? Y'all are working on something bigger for yourselves, and you are totally on the right track. All right, just don't burn them to a crisp. All right, be a little gentle. That's to your discretion, though. All right, so what needs to come out for the Sagittarius energy? Oh, and one more thing. This all feeds into shifts. And these shifts, I felt like it was like being on a boat. So I would say this shift is going to be in the emotions. And as we talk about that, take that card too. What I have is confidence in reverse. So right now, these dilemmas are helping you work on your confidence. building up that support within yourself in every which way. Every which way, because if you think about it, a whole hive works together to support the main one. And this is going to be yourself working with yourself on a whole lot of different levels. Confidence is practice. And then what we have here is change. Being able to adapt. Now that could be a big thing for a fire sign, especially when they're ready to head off. And something we do not see, and here we go. It is also in reverse. Balanced emotions. I feel like that feeds into don't burn them to a crisp. Delegate how this happens, these dilemmas happen, because you can have, and what I'm being showed is an upper hand in being able to adapt and have that confidence in all the directions that you're coming in. Being able to go with that flow. Understanding if something is upsetting you, again, you don't have to burn them to a crisp. You can stand your ground and you can adapt in how you react to it. Something else that we do not see is overcome fear. What is it in this dilemma that brings out some kind of fear? Is it a spotlight being shown on you? Because you're like, listen here. Y'all don't know what's really going on. Y'all want to pretend what's not going on. Because let's face it, Sagittarius leads in truth. A lot of truth. And if you're dealing with a Sagittarius that doesn't lead in truth, that's because they're unevolved. A lot of evolved Sagittarius, that's how they do it. They don't get hurt with honesty. They actually will respect a person more for forwardness and for being honest and truthful, no matter how hard the information is. They will always respect the truth. So what is it that you're holding back because of fears? There's some truth there that you haven't been expressing. Maybe you've been dancing around it a little bit. Could the fear also, and this is coming in right now, could the fear also be stepping into something new? Something where this Sagittarius is looked at, maybe adored a little bit more, where the spotlight is on them. Sagittarius are social creatures. They could have a lot of fun in a group of friends, especially fiery friends. But I would say Sagittarius doesn't mind not having the spotlight on them. They don't mind sitting here just being another one in the group, even though they're just not another one in the group. They're that undercover smart mofo that sees a lot, that knows a lot. And sometimes that's hard to express when you're being put in these different dilemmas and how you express it. Just take time to listen, because you got these omens, these guides telling you you're doing great. Hold on to that intuition. You got people coming in left and right and you're not expecting it, who are paying compliments to you, who are sending out that, hey, guess what? Other people see this in you. And you see it in yourself, but you just don't walk with a bunch of confidence with it. Start walking in that confidence. Start saying, instead of deflecting the compliments, deflecting the signs, saying thank you and being open to them. Letting down the defense a little. What I'm hearing is they're dead messing with you, whoever was messing with you. Because I felt like even coming into this, there's a lot of eyes. So there may be a lot of people who are just observing you. I can't say in what kind of way they're observing you, but there is just a lot of people who have been watching how you've been coming in. So listen to those positive messages. Don't deflect them. Embrace them. Say thank you. Alright, so let's get a little bit more into detail with the present. What is it that would like to come out for the present, for the Sagittarius community? Alright. We have a 5 of Cups in reverse. So emotions are out on something. Something's not stable. And then we have a 6 of Cups. And upright. And it's some that we don't see. It lands over the fear and the defense. So you're going back and forth. Back and forth. I would say there's good days. And then there's bad days. Bad days are when your cups are all empty and you're like, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I showing up like this every day? Why do I care so much? What is it? Why? I'm burnt out. I'm drained. And then on other days, you're selling in like, I got this. I'm recharged. I can see what's ahead. I can see where I'm going. But I would say a dilemma comes in. Boom. And we're back to square one. Why are you backtracking to square one? What is it? Let's get a clarification card for the 5 of Cups. It's the Empress in reverse. And did I call this the 5 of Cups? Excuse me. That is the 9 of Cups. Alright, so the Empress is right here in reverse. She's out on her own too. I kind of hesitate to say because it's sensitive, you know. You've been kind of cruel to yourself. You haven't been really holding yourself to the highest. You haven't really been feeling the love for this Sagittarius self. And it could have been because certain contracts didn't work out. You weren't able to find that path that would lead you to the direction where you felt like you could be safe and spend time there. Lots of time there. For some reason, there's a really big emotional insecurity. Almost like you feel like you're this, you're that, but the other side of the coin is where you're actually at. You're not this overly emotion person. And as I say that, I have the Ace of Swords. That Ace of Swords lands on the 7 of Wands. Defense. It's that big conflict. Now, if this conflict is you feeling like others are surrounding you and trying to burn you up, or is it yourself surrounding yourself and burning you up? What do I mean is it could be like, I didn't complete this today. How come I couldn't do this? This never got taken care of. I didn't show up here like I was supposed to. Why is this person acting out and taking accountability for their behavior? You know, not having the means to be able to take care of this right away. Really wanting to do something, but feeling like, again, you can't show up for that. It's surrounding yourself with a lot of incomplete things. And these incomplete things, I feel like are out of your power, are out of your grasp, are out of what you can control. And that has you feeling like you're emotionally unstable. That has you feeling like you haven't found that secure place. You haven't found the secure place with people, work, maybe hobbies. It's wherever you're delegating your time to. Maybe it's all of them. But right here, I had that Ace of Swords landing upright. The clarity. Clarity is saying that the storm has passed. The storm has passed. You're at a different point. Instead of looking down at how the mud is on your shoes, look up to the rainbow that you got to. And that rainbow is not material things. It's a different wealth. And that wealth is things that really money can't buy. Yes, you can go to therapy. Yes, you can do this. Yes, you can do workshops, this and that. But unless you're putting in the work after you do these classes, workshops, sessions, it doesn't matter. You have to do the work. And finding the clarity that you have been doing the work, opposed to seeing where you're falling short. All right, I'm hearing a few more cards for the present. What else would like to come out? All right, hold on. Let's clean it up a little. Clean it up. All right, so I'm hearing a clarity card for the Ace of Swords. Clarity card for the Ace of Swords. What would like to come out? Okay. A whole little booklet here. This Sagittarius has really been looking at how they want to go. How they want to go. They start heading in the direction with their feet, but their thoughts don't follow. All they know is that ultimate goal. And that ultimate goal has to do with starting from the beginning. Starting from scratch. Figuring out what they have been hung up in. Figuring out who they're supposed to be surrounded by, who helps feed their inner fire of growth. But what I feel like, this is really weird to say, because a lot of times Sagittarius comes off as a very crude sign. But in reality, centaurs are a group sign. And if you think about the main centaur that the constellation is about, that centaur was a teacher. They were a philosopher. They were a medicine person. And that's a person who cares about others. When you're feeling emotionally unstable, and it's because of these others, I would say, let go. Let go. It's not your job to open their wings. They can fly on their own. But if you look at it, it's almost like they want to get a hold of your tail and keep you down there. If your mission is to go to the top, to level up, to be in a place a year from now where you're more happy with yourself and what you're doing and what you're bringing in, then do it. Those others who want to do the same, they'll fly with you. But they're not They're not supposed to grasp on you. They're not supposed to be taking you down with them. Because if you look at it, look at your wings. You're meant to go up. You're ready to fly the coop. You're ready to do more. You're ready to see more be done. And that could be hard for a Sagittarius. That can be really hard when they're stuck in an area, stuck in a place that isn't the same kind of vibe. When you get stuck in these dilemmas and they're trying to ask you about your truth and you are somebody who isn't passive aggressive, you're forward. That could be intimidating. How much truth do I actually want to tell them? Because I don't want to sit here and burn y'all to a crisp. That's why I say you gotta be very careful about this and how you do it. And that's because it's feeding into your treasures. If you can harness some good practical listening and communication skills, you're going to come out on top of this situation. And those people who are already looking at you are going to be even more amazed by you. What I'm seeing is just like you're all that in a bag of chips and you don't even know it yet. And it's because you're working so hard. You are working so hard. All right, so let's dive into the block now. What is it that needs to come out? So the Four of Coins lands directly on this Empress in reverse and the Nine of Cups in reverse. Being surrounded and keeping yourself in this. It's almost like a self-built cage of old things. Even though if you moved it, you could come out. You could come out of there. Because a lot of times what Four of Coins is, Four of Pentacles, is holding on to stuff. This one is not really holding on to stuff, but you could say they let that stuff in the way of their path. That's what I'm picking up. This person and this card could have so much more room to stretch out their tail, swim. But there's a self-built barrier that's in front of them. Can I get a clarity card for this Four of Coins? What is this barrier, Spirit Guides? This barrier has to do with the Page of Cups. Page of Cups is a young energy. And what I feel like is the Sagittarius feels like they are not up to the level to come in as a stable emotional energy or to function in a higher IQ emotional energy. That's a lot. That's a big mouthful. All right, let's dissect that. What I'm saying is, because we're seeing that it has to do a lot with emotions. What it is Sagittarius is hard on themselves. Where Sagittarius sees them on emotional IQ like this, almonds and spirit guides have been trying to tell you you're actually up here. But my guess is by the cards, you're actually a little bit higher. But Sagittarius is still just seeing themselves down here. You're not seeing how you support the system. And I'm not talking about the governmental system. I'm talking about where you are, where you go. You are the teacher. You are the philosopher. You are the medicine person. You are the person who helps bring in a passionate energy that wants to grow, that wants to do more. But it's not being seen. And it's not being seen by yourself primarily. Look at these booklets coming out. Look at this. Look at this. Alright, give me a second. I have a 7 of Cups in reverse, Knight of Coins in reverse, Page of Wands upright, 7 of Swords in reverse, 9 of Coins in upright, 3 of Wands in upright, Queen of Swords in reverse, Tower in reverse, Temperance, Sagittarius card in reverse, 2 of Swords in upright. So right here, we're going to dive into the block, this nitty gritty. You ready? The block translates into this: Sagittarius has an upside down view of themselves. Remember, Temperance is in reverse. This upside down view hasn't been reconstructed. It hasn't been demolition. And it's because of these overruling thoughts. These overruling thoughts that leave this Sagittarius feeling like they're just too immature to really build that world up. I'm really focused on how there's a lot of shadow here still. Like they'll never fully bring in the light. There'll still be a lot of shadow to them. Getting to that 9 of Pentacles outcome, that stability within themselves, that 100% currency is always hindered by the thoughts. By the thoughts. Always looked back upon all of that through the young view, the young passionate, the young fiery view. This view is just like, it's very passionate, but it's too young to understand the full journey just yet, or what has fully happened on this journey, because they're only looking at the downfall of things, and that's the thoughts. A lot of times we let our brains lead the direction. So if you're going to let your brain lead instead of the heart, the brain needs to lead through positive thoughts. But as we see, the swords are coming in reverse. Coming in reverse, hindering being able to go off into a direction that this Sagittarius is actually fulfilled in. We can be our own undoers. And that's anybody in life. Watch different interviews with different celebrities when they're in a comfortable zone. And you can see how human they are. If you could listen to how hard they had to work and how they had to believe in themselves when nobody believed in them, when the crowd was against them, they still showed up. I feel like Sagittarius has a lot of eyes on them, but for some reason, because there's a certain block up, it's getting filtered as they're not showing up. It's coming in through the emotions, and it's really having them reflect on, well, do I really deserve this? Can I really step up? Is there really conviction in what I say? Yes. If you're an evolved Sagittarius, you are the seeker of truth. Yes. Now feel that truth within yourself. All right, so let's go ahead. All right, nope, not yet. I'm seeing a big one more card. One more card for the block. What is the last card that needs to come out, Divine Energy? Y'all seen that. Y'all seen that. And you're about to see the card. The biggest part of the block, especially when it comes to how this Sagittarius feels, they're putting themselves in a deja vu. And I feel like it's nobody else but Sagittarius themselves. You have upright right here, but you keep turning it to this. And then you have to fully cycle into saying, okay, we're not going to do this deja vu anymore. I'm going to have clarity, and I can make my own way. I can be the producer of the things I really want to attract. And it doesn't have to be this deja vu anymore. And it's the deja vu that the Sagittarius keeps running into the emotions that they're feeling. Maybe they're feeling like they're not good enough. Maybe they feel like they're not showing up. But these are all old things that have been placed in front of you that have held you back. Listen to what people are telling you. Listen to the omens, the different signs, different songs that are resonating. Because life is telling you, your guides are telling you, this whole dimension is trying to tell you something different. Let's wake up to it. Let's really feel it. And instead of deflecting it, take it and hold gratitude for it. Be thankful for who you are. Be thankful for that, being that truth seeker. All right, so let's go ahead and draw up the conclusion. Universal energy, spirit guides, divine, angels of protections, and ancestors. What is it that can help the Sagittarius in this story? What is it that can help? Movement into balance. So you're feeling like you didn't show up in one part, but guess what? You are showing up now. And you learned some lessons from the last time or the time before that. And that is what has you trying so hard in more than one way. You don't know it, but you have been aligning within yourself between operating through your light side and operating through that shadow side. Really start to cleanse out. Get that clear view. That clear view of yourself. And how you light up things. All right. Anything else? Teaching. I feel like this moment is not just yours. This moment is going to be one that you share. You're going to share this because you are also a teacher. You're a philosopher naturally. You may not hold degrees or go to school actively for that, or maybe you do. But the thing is, through this lesson here, you are either going to teach others or you are teaching others as you go. Because like I said, people are observing you. And a lot of people can learn from others. Here we go. Omens lands in reverse. And I'm going to tell you the reason why it lands in reverse, because this is that direct message. Pay attention. Take in those omens, those positive confirmations. Take them in. And instead of deflecting them, be grateful. Because that's a part of the new day. That's a part of you getting to those goals. Everything that you're working on, all these treasures that you're gathering for the main event, the main thing that you want. All right. And here we go. I'm going to call these the last 3 cards, Sagittarius. Forgiveness. Oh. Who is it? How far back does it go? It's time to forgive them. It's time to forgive yourself for dealing with them. When you hang on to anger, resentment, and all that stuff because a situation didn't work out, it really festers in your energy. It'll fester in your body. When you can let it go, then there's no clog in your energy system, in your body. There's no clog. So there's things that aren't becoming stagnant. There aren't areas that are being depleted. You start to feel more fulfilled. And this could be hard. Depending on who the person is, this can be hard. But you can have big shifts. I'm going to share this story with you really quick. I have a masculine energy that I absolutely, for the longest time, hate. I hated them. I hated them for not only like them not showing up. I hated the way that they showed up. I just hated that out of everyone, I picked them. And just the end result of it. I hated that they never grew up. I hated that they never cared enough. And I held on to that hate for years. For 16 years? 17, 16? And somebody hit me the other day as, you need to stop that. You need to have love and compassion. I'm like, they don't deserve it. They don't. And I'm allowed to hate them. And I sat with it. And I hated them because they made me show up when I didn't want to show up. They made me be strong because I had no other choice but to be strong. I had to become the provider because I had no other choice. One side of the coin says how much I'm angry because they made me do so much I wasn't ready to do. On the other side of the coin, I look at it now, I showed up in all the ways they couldn't. And now, so many years later, that's built my resilience. I'm still showing up. I'm doing more. But they're not doing anything. They don't show up even for themselves. And when I started looking at it in that kind of view, it's not that I had any remorse or any pity for them, but I seen how much all the things I had to rise up to when I didn't want to, how it made me more of a person. More of a warrior in this game of life. And so I had to actually thank them. Because if they would have showed back up, my life would be different. And I would have went through a whole lot more. And I would have never had 2 careers. I would have never been able to move states. I wouldn't be able to even own my own vehicle. I would be dependent on somebody else and everything that they say, instead of having confidence in how I come in and what I do. So when it comes to bestowing forgiveness, no, it's not something to take lightly. But maybe it's kind of looking at it from the other side of the coin. How much you had to gain because you had no other choice but to be strong. Forgiving somebody that couldn't level up. They didn't have it in them. And the reason why it didn't work out with them person, place, or thing is because you wanted to go up. You wanted to level up, and you weren't going to let anybody hold you back. And finding the joy in that. Finding the joy that you were able to spread your wings. You were able to go to more growth. You were able to explore more of this life instead of always being hindered by not wanting to do more, not wanting to grow, not seeking the truth when things didn't feel right. And last card that we don't see. Until we're able to issue out that forgiveness and finding the joy, it's going to be the burden that we always carry. When you're ready, Sagittarius, you can give yourself permission to take this weight off of your shoulders. Forgiving yourself for putting up with what you had to put up with. Forgiving yourself when you felt like you didn't show up. Forgiving yourself and all these little things. Because the bigger picture is you do a whole lot. And when you needed someone to show up, they didn't. And you chose to be strong. Whew. What a powerful story, Sagittarius community. Thank you so much for coming in and listening to it. I hope y'all enjoyed it and you have a great rest of your day.